Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. We're back below 67k, we're back below yesterday's low, and the blue scenario is taking the lead. It seems as if Bitcoin, as already said in the last video, because it hasn't given us any reliable signal that we are on the move to the upside. Yeah, it was only a three-wave move up. That Bitcoin indeed seems to be following that blue count. I did already earlier today add the blue microstructure here within the C wave. Earlier today I only showed you this count WX and then the Y wave down, and I highlighted to you that a break below yesterday's low will make this blue scenario much more likely, in which the price would likely move down to 65,808, or even more important, and that's the key level really, 64,295, because this is the 100% extension level of the A wave to the downside, and that is a very common target for a C wave. Either way, I'm looking for lower prices as long as we are holding the intraday high, so holding below that 68,400. Only a break above it would indicate that the white count is taking the lead. All right, so in the white scenario, we're dealing with already a C wave to the upside, which can send us to 76.5k, but no high probabilities for this count because the price has rallied yesterday only in three waves. I did describe and explain that in detail in the last video. I would still leave this trend channel actually on the chart, even though we had a fake out to the upside. What you can do as well, you can add another set of trend lines here if you want to follow this trend short term to the downside. I would just use this one, this trend line here. Break above it indicates that this immediate downtrend seems to be over. We have 3 touch points, maybe even 4, so it's actually a pretty decent trend line here that keeps the price down at the moment. In addition to that, we've got the Elliott waves. So we have a possible 5-wave move down from the Wednesday high, a 3-wave rally into today's high from yesterday's low. So it's a 1-2. And this third wave, I mean, if I really use Fibonacci extensions based on the microstructure, if this is the count, well, the third should take us down to round about 64.8, 64.4k. This is also where the lower boundary line of the trend channel is located. Then a wave 4 bounce, and the wave 5 could really send us down to, yeah, maybe just below 64,295 or so. That's going to be interesting. Definitely going to pay attention to these levels as we go lower. And so I'd say anybody who's short here at the moment, it might be worth watching for a bounce at 65,808, because that's when support starts, next support. That's the 50% fib level. And then let me take out the one that we don't need. The 100% extension is always relevant. That's at 65,570. But then really for the third wave, it's here starting at 64,910. So I would assume we are going down now to 64,910 as long as we stay below this trend line. Yeah, I think that is how we can keep it very, very simple. And there is some downside momentum. The white count could make a comeback. It still could, but it would really need to turn around before we break below the Tuesday low, which was formed at $66,060. I mentioned that in my first video earlier today, where I said to you, to really believe the white count is playing out, we need a break above yesterday's high, and the invalidation point for the white count is this Tuesday low. So at the moment, it seems rather as if the bears are leading right now. Again, can't say it often enough that trend line seems to be relevant, and then the next fib levels below. Those are the current parameters. And overall, even in the blue count, where we probably need to see a little bit more downside, in the blue count, we need to be watching for a reaction as soon as the third wave is done and the fifth wave. But the blue count is only valid as long as we're holding overall 62,540. We shouldn't really necessarily get there. So as I said, ideally we turn around in that white box. Well, around the 1.618 extension there, 63,850. But obviously it all depends on, I mean, if the price can't hold there, then the last level for the wave B in blue is that 62,540 level. One of the key parameters I mentioned earlier today as well. And the blue count would still allow for a rally in a C wave towards 76.5K, but seems like we are not yet done with this correction. That's my update about Bitcoin. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.